Hi guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I've received loads of questions over the last couple of weeks about top tips on how to get into Bakasana crow pose. So I'm going to give you guys a very brief tutorial on how to get your hips and your heart flying a little bit higher. I'm going to start with a couple of exercises as you start to get into your wrists, get into the shoulders. I want you to start here in your tabletop, neutral spine, gazes down somewhere between the thumbs. Cat and cow to start. As you inhale, draw the chest forwards. Smile the collarbones all the way up to the sky. Lift the gaze, but not so much that you're cranking through the neck. Exhale as you press the ground away. Draw the navel to spine and dome deep up between your shoulder blades. You want to imagine that you're finding the most space possible created across those shoulder blades. Inhaling through the spine as you lift the heart forwards. Exhaling as you cap the upper back, press the ground away. Take one more of those. Inhale. Exhale, pressing hands firmly to mat, dome deep between the shoulders. Hold this sense of doming in the shoulders. Then 1 foot at a time, step to your plank. Now notice here how you've already found that lift through the upper back body. Tuck your tailbone long and draw your navel toward your spine. Still finding that sense of projection as you ground deep through the palms. Breathing deep. And then from your plank pose, start to explore your weight between both hands. Maybe with circles, maybe just inching yourself forward and back. Always tucking the tailbone, always trying to find that continued protraction through your shoulders. If this is too much, you can soften the knees to your mat. Same movement as you drive hands forward, heart forward over those hands, rocking weight side to side, back and forth. Just take a couple more moments here, wherever you are. And then we will all meet back together, sitting on our heels. Release the wrists if you need a brief circle through. Now if you need to warm up a little longer than that, I recommend you take a couple more moments to work through those exercises together before coming into our Bakasana. Next steps to crow. Come to your seat. Nice deep squat onto the backs of your heels. The first thing we're looking for in crow pose is a really big surface area with your hands. If the hands are together, we have littler surface area, therefore larger chance of falling over those hands. I want you to spread the fingers as wide as they'll possibly go. Then place those hands about a foot in front of your toes. From here we lift the hips high. So the hips are as high as they'll go, so the knees can then find your triceps rather than your elbows. And once the knees are connected to the triceps, all I want you to do is just experiment with rocking your weight forward into the hands and then back into the feet. Forward into the hands and back into the feet. And you may just take a couple of moments again, play with the body weight and the balance of the weight over the hands. You may take mini circles just to feel what it's like to load the shoulders with the body weight. Once you're comfortable in that space, bringing the body weight all the way forwards, I want you to notice where your gaze is. If your gaze is down, likely your head is down and therefore you're probably going down. I want you to focus on a lift through your heart and your chest as you bring the gaze forward. So hands to mat, hips are high. We rock the weight forward into the arms. The chest is reaching for the top of your mat, as is your gaze. Maybe then you start to squeeze one heel toward your sit bone. Replace the foot to the mat. Squeeze the other foot toward your sit bone. And this might be where you stay today in today's practice. You might just be squeezing here, building strength in those shoulders. Option 2, if you would like to come a little further, 1 foot is squeezed, and then see if you can catch the air time between the feet as you switch the feet between left and right. All the time the chest is forward, The head and the gaze are forward rather than down. Now you may choose to take little breaks in between each of those drills, just to find a little space back in the wrists before we move into the full pose. Take your setup so hands are wide. Find that foot away distance from toes, hips are lifted, knees then find your triceps, and we rock our weight forward. Notice where your heart is pulling, where the gaze is. Breath is full. If maybe here you want to move further, maybe 1 foot at a time, we squeeze heel to bum. Maybe both feet at the same time, we squeeze heel to bum. Heart is lifted. You're traveling forward, so your gaze is pulling you to the top of your mat. We squeeze elbows together as you protract a little deeper into those shoulders, belly to spine. And release. Make sure you give those wrists a little flex. You may like to place the backs of your hands to your mat and just gently sway yourself side to side as you find that release. Top tips. Make sure you're spreading the fingers wide, number 1. Number 2 is find height in the hips before the knees find your triceps. Number 3, we slowly rock our weight forward, but notice where your heart and where your gaze are going. Once you're up, you're finding that doming through the shoulders to help you find that lift even higher. Give it a go, let me know how you get on. Thanks for watching.